What's up, you guys? Matt Jablonski here with the Point Exchange, sitting here with Deamons Art. We just finished my recovery ribbon tattoo. I'm going to wait for some people to come online and talk at me. If you want to share it out on your phone, bro.
Yeah, right here?
Yep. Go to that. And it should just scroll down to wherever we are. Should be able to see us by now. Yep, there we are. Look at that. Click on it. Sitting here with Deamons Art. There we are. Just finished my recovery ribbon tattoo. And shares, and you can share it to your page too if you want. You want to share it out on your phone, bro? Right post.
Right, that's going to go to my personal page.
Oh, okay.
I have to try to get it to my business page. Down into group.
Let's try. Here, back out of this one. Go down a little farther. Down one more. Click the share button right there. There. Now you can do that.
Now I should be shared to a page.
There we go. We're getting it. We're getting it, guys. Hey, we got all kinds of viewers. How you guys doing? Hey, my mama's here. Ann Myers, good to see you. I heard you've had some bad luck befall you, dear. God bless you. Ryan, Monica, how's everybody doing? Hey, Chris, how are you? Helen, good to see you guys. Let me adjust this a little bit so the comments aren't right in your face. We're getting through it, guys. Don't worry. Just give us a minute. There we go. That'll work. Is it shared out? Half the time I don't trust Facebook. There it is. Right on.
It says shared live video. It's still going to go free, right?
Yeah, it'll go right back to where it's coming from.
Okay.
All right. Got some more viewers coming in. How's it going, guys? I am Matt Jablonski. I'm a recovering meth addict. I used meth for 13 years. Been in recovery since February 3rd, 2017. And today is my co-host, Deamons Art. I don't even know your last name, though.
Betchard.
Ah!
Yeah, Betchard, but...
So introduce yourself, brother.
My name's Deamon Betchard, and I've also recovering meth addict. 4 years of use, 7 years and going on strong clean.
Right on.
So, yeah, that's about it for the intro.
Right on. So you're the creator of the recovery ribbon. What was your inspiration behind coming up with this ribbon?
Well, it started off throughout my career being asked by a few people to create something that symbolized their triumph, their overcoming of addiction. And that's a mind-boggling puzzle to try to come up with. Like that's a huge symbolism point, and that could range from anything. Pills, needles. Do I put a design with a needle in it? Do I put a design with pills in it? What do I do? So everything I've made has been case-by-case basis. But I was tattooing a client when his girlfriend suggested. She made a comment that it's strange that there's no ribbon out there for it, and that started to get the gears rolling. I'm like, there's got to be. There's a ribbon for everything, right? So,
right.
So I Googled it and I looked it up, and there's actually two ribbons. There's a substance abuse ribbon, which is a red ribbon, and there's a addiction recovery ribbon, which is a blue ribbon. So it's like, okay, well they already have those, maybe not. Then you look further into it and you Google red ribbon or blue ribbon, and red ribbon, it's AIDS, it's child neglect, it's pedophilia. I mean, it's a ton of things. There's at least 50 things attached to this red ribbon for that. Then you look at the blue ribbon, and it's colon cancer, and it's things like that, and and that's something that it's way too vague. If you put a blue ribbon on your van, people aren't going to know if you got colon cancer or if you're a recovering addict,
yeah,
right?
It sends a mixed signal.
They really shouldn't do that. Like the ribbons, for me, I'm uneducated with ribbons. Like
yeah.
I've never been huge into ribbons. I see one, like I said, I have no idea what it means. I'm like, cool that you're bringing awareness to something. That's great. But I don't know what it means. None of them are distinguished enough to stand out as a universal ribbon for one thing.
Right.
So I came up with this ribbon, and I simply took a template, broke off one corner, took some broken chains, because that's important. That's symbolizing a huge symbol of overcoming something. Oh, and then sure. When choosing colors, I went with white and black, kind of like yin yang, good and bad,
right,
past and future, things like that. And then I was looking up symbols, general recovery symbols, something that would stand out inside the ribbon to give it that more distinguished look. And the first things that came up were this thing that looked like an S, but it was broken, and all that. And I was like, that's a cool S, and it's obviously recognized out there. Let's throw it in there. So I threw it in there, and then it blew up like overnight. I posted the ribbon. Wasn't expected to go anywhere at all. I expected like the 2-3 people who asked me about overcoming to get it, and then no, it went worldwide, very very fast, huge, and.
Was that pretty shocking for you to see that number blow up overnight like that?
It went from like 15 likes to waking up to 3,000 to 5,000, and then like the next night 7,000 to 9,000, and then I'm getting messages and phone calls from Florida and Australia and England and tattoo artists asking if they can use the ribbon, and people, support groups asking if they can use the ribbon and all that, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. But then I received a few messages, of course, about the symbol inside resembling another organization that trademarked the symbol. Like I said, I didn't expect it to go anywhere. It's from a small town, 10,000 people. Next thing you know, this thing's hitting worldwide. So trial and error. Not that it was a mistake. The organization that uses the similar symbol is also for addiction and recovery. So if it's in the ribbon, that is completely fine. Nobody's going to mistake that ribbon for anything other than what it is, the recovery ribbon. Absolutely. So I simply made an attachment to the bottom and made that S prominent, which is what I originally wanted it to stand for anyways. And this gives me full rights over the symbol and allowing everybody to use it as they want, as opposed to any potential action that could arise in the future. So I just want to avoid all that right away and be like, no, this is fully my symbol, and this is all your symbol now. Everybody can take it and do what they want with it.
Right on. And so when you were doing all this search, and I've done the same thing, I've looked for different symbols for recovery, and like I told you before, I found the triangle with the circle in it, but that's mostly used for NA programs and such like that. How did it make you feel coming to find out that there wasn't something that was so specific to addiction? That's such a big cause.
Yeah, it blew my mind, but at the same time, I felt like it was fitting. I felt like it was right that there wasn't something like that out there, because the public, it's still like taboo to a lot of people to have, to openly present that you were a user, or that you had this horrible bad habit. And I want to clarify again that the OAOB ribbon, right, the overcoming addiction or bad habits, it's also for overcoming anything that's detrimental to your life. Could have been an abusive relationship, could have been self-harm, could have been anything like that. Right. It has been mostly used by addicts, which is, I think, just great. I think that's great. I've been getting comments like, wow, I never believed there could be so many people. There could be so many people that needed a symbol, or that put faith into a symbol, or like this symbol's empowering people. It's doing more than just a simple awareness ribbon, which raises awareness, and that's great. But this is an awareness action, or an achievement ribbon. It shows that you personally have accomplished something, where an awareness ribbon just raises awareness.
Yeah, and that's another huge reason why I'm proud to wear it on my arm too, because it's an instant conversation starter. Instant, somebody's going to ask what that's about, and that brings up the conversation of addiction, and that's one step towards removing the stigma towards it. So you were a meth addict for a while. Did you use in this area, or was that where you were from?
No, I started using out of state. But I grew up here, so I brought that addiction back with me, and then got hooked up with all the people that it's like if you're not a user and you walking around normally, it's a normal thing. But then once you start using, it's like it's a whole underground world you didn't know existed inside your own town. You know what I mean? It's a whole nother thing you never knew was there at all. So next thing you know, I'm meeting all these people that live like right next door that never knew were users, and now I'm linked up with all these people, and I'm 15, 16 at the time when I started using, and I was a needle user and all that, and I got really heavy into it, spent my jail time, eventually went to prison, and all that stuff. But yeah, I was using mostly here, and it was pretty bad.
All right. So was it like, should I say, was it like in Merrill, or was it just around this area, or when you were using?
I would say 60% of it was in Merrill, but I also was, was meth. So I was so paranoid all the time that I pretty much lived out of my car, and I would drive city to city, state to state, just to keep moving in case, because everybody's watching me. Everybody who's used meth knows about shadow people and all that stuff. So I was always running from that. Never wanted to be one place for more than like 10 minutes. So I was always moving.
Oh, okay. So that's I guess the main point I was making was that you were actually able to recover in the area where you used, because that stands out.
That's a great point to make too, because everybody that I know, and this is everybody, says they have to move away from their area to start over. They have to get out of their area. They need to abandon everything, and I don't think that's true. You know, I mean, it's a matter of willpower. If I simply, and this was simple for me once I made the decision to stop using, to cut everybody who I used to talk to. That doesn't mean you need to leave the area. It means you establish new friends, new workplaces, things like that. Like that's huge. You don't need to just completely bail, because the second you decide if you're gonna slip up somewhere else, boom, you've created that whole circle there too. And then it's just like you need to be able to have the willpower to change where you are.
Yes.
You know, it's
yes,
about you,
I
not
agree.
the area.
I agree. Now, like myself, my key to my original sobriety was to leave my area. I moved 4.5 hours away from where I used, and that helped me a lot. But I love hearing those stories, because I mean, so many people think that there's a certain formula to recovery. You know, you have to have meetings, you have to have a new area, new people, new places, new things, all that. But you just kind of summed it up right there. You know, that it's a lot about your willpower. Because even like me, like we're using meth. Meth, I mean, I may have moved away. It's still present where I live now. I could find it if I wanted to, but the big thing I always say with meth is that it's makeable. You can make this shit real quick.
Yeah.
So the matter of getting away from it, you're never going to get away from the drugs, you know. But I think that's awesome that you were able to recover here, because I couldn't do it. I had too many triggers in my area for me, and I just kept stumbling. But so in your recovery, how long have you been in recovery now?
Going on 8 years.
Going on 8 years. That's awesome. And then, were you a tattoo artist before when you were using?
No. This was something that I started tattooing about 2 years ago, but it was just very iffy, like bogus apprenticeship type situations where they didn't pan out due to personal reasons on their behalf, whatever. But I didn't really start getting into a professional setting until about 1.5 years ago is when I started consistently tattooing, taking it seriously. I had factory jobs and things like that before that. I was a painter, I was a welder. You know, I love painting. I didn't so much care for welding. It wasn't my thing. But yeah, it fell into a hard spot where I kept getting, I don't know, into it with my employers, not in a negative way, but in a way where I'd be like guaranteed a raise or something like that, and then it wouldn't come through, and I'd be like, come on, you guys, you know, you promised me this. 2 months would go by, I'd be like, well, dude, I'm out of here. So I'd leave, and I'm like, now's the time to really go out for myself. I think I really need, I'm the type of person I feel where I have to work under my own rules, essentially, you know, and that's kind of how I live my entire life, you know.
Yeah.
It's under my own rules and what I decide to make happen, and that's why I've been able to do this ribbon, and why I've been able to do my sobriety, and why I've been able to help change the lives of my wife and my family and all that, because she used to use too before I met her, and then she seen my sobriety, and she knew, you know, that it's only one-way street of it working, so she cleaned up. And I mean, granted, not for the best reasons, because there you could argue she didn't exactly do it for herself in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a lot of people. They'll stop using for somebody else, and then that means that it gives you the chance in the future where if you're not with that person, you could potentially use again, unless you take that time to really focus on your sobriety. And my wife's done great. You know, she's perfect with that. She's been super sober and truly amazing, and that's awesome. But it's true. You gotta quit for yourself, or you'll always have that fallback. You know.
Oh, for sure. I agree 100%. That's, you know, there are so many. We were talking about this earlier too. So many rules to recovery, and then there's exceptions to the rule, and it varies so much person to person.
Right.
So, getting back on the recovery ribbon, is this the first thing that you've design of yours that you created? I imagine it's the first one that went this big. But has there been anything else that caught on like this at all, like a little bit, or any of your designs?
Nothing that impacted. You know, impact. I mean, if you want to talk about standard designs, I do some pretty slick watercolor. If you want to come check that out, I know watercolor and some horror black and gray. And the watercolor actually reached a woman in Pennsylvania who came down and got the tattoo, and I get some from Minnesota for the watercolor and stuff, and that's great. But this ribbon is unity like never before seen. It's insane, and the amount of people that defend this ribbon too blows me away. Somebody made a post that they designed a decal, and they're like, yeah, I made it myself. And they just worded it horribly, you know, because I made it myself sounds like they designed the ribbon,
Oh,
you know,
okay,
so
yeah.
they instantly got attacked by like 30 people, just like, hey, you didn't design that ribbon. They're tagging me in the post. They're like, hey, this is not right. So I messaged them. It was cleared up. They're like, yeah, sorry, I just worded it wrong. And I'm like, yeah, but
it's a very tight-knit community here in the Recovery Wheel. We got you back.
yeah, for sure, man. And like just the amount of like people saying that they can't believe that there's this many people. What this ribbon is doing, and I'm super impressed with what it's doing, is it's bringing people out of the shadows. It's bringing people out, and they're admitting that there was a hardship in their life, you know. But it's also not just throwing a regular ribbon on yourself. It's saying, yes, there was a hardship, but look, I overcame it.
Oh, for sure.
This means I overcame it. And there was a few comments like, hey, yeah, okay, so now you're a target for every employer or something like that because now they see that you're a horrible addict or blah, blah, blah. And you're always going to have hateful stuff. That's with anything, for sure. And these days, there's so much positivity drowning out the negativity. Keep it up with the negativity. But to me, if I was an employer or somebody and I seen this ribbon, I would think more like this is somebody who's admitting that they are a soldier. They're bringing to me that they are a soldier and they fought a war with themselves at some point and they won. This is going to be a hard worker. This is going to be a person that I want to work for me. You know, and that's not going to apply to everybody. There's going to be a few people who have gotten the ribbon that didn't get it for the right reasons, or they're still using. I mean, it's probably slim to none. You know, it's slim. You know, but yeah, I would respect. It's automatic respect between people who have these ribbons. Like that's cool, and it's bringing together people. Okay, so groups bring together people, right? But in a select area.
Yeah.
This ribbon is like a universal group. You know, and that's just awesome. It's truly mind-blowing. It is awesome, and I love it more and more every day, man. And it's getting so big that I will eventually be setting up a website, you know, for select merchandise and to display my shop more and stuff like that.
Oh, so. For sure. This is going to be an upgrade for sure.
Yeah.
So you were just saying about people that were still using that get the tattoo, and we talked about your pricing on the tattoo and some other things that are kind of safeguards against that. And I really liked what you had to say, like about the price for a $50 basic.
Right. Yeah. We'll go back to some negative comments. There was one comment that was like, "Hey, why don't you give out your ribbon for free if you believe in the cause? You know, why don't you just hand it out?" And obviously, this person's not supportive of the ribbon, anyways. You know, it's one of the several trolls that come on, but There was several reasons, but one of them was that when I see $50 or when somebody else sees $50, that they see a bag of dope. If they are a user, like I was and like you were, $50 is not going towards a tattoo. It is not going towards anything other than drugs. So it helps, like you said, safeguard that because I've known people who for sure were using. And they would message me, "Hey, how much is the ribbon?" I know they're using it. I'd be like, $50, and they just take off, you know. And then you know that's huge because $50, if you're still using, you're gonna get the dope. So it's a help for sure. And then anybody who's working a normal job or trying to support themselves, $50 is not a huge deal, especially for something like this.
No,
you know, especially for something where people are willing to travel. I got messages from some girl who wants to drive to me all the way from Canada to get the ribbon straight from me, which is amazing. You know. New York invited me to guest spot out there. We'll see if that happens. All that stuff. But yeah, it's more about the safeguarding the sanctity of the ribbon.
For sure. I completely agree. I mean, and $50 for this. This is a $50 tattoo.
Up to 6 inches.
Right. I mean, and that's awesome work. And like I said, man, you're an awesome artist. You put time into this. This came from your heart. You know, I mean, $50 is not nothing, you know, to turn your nose up at over this thing. And I really love that idea that you said, you know, like if I were using, I know back when I was using, man, if you'd have told me $50 for this tattoo, if I'm going to put in the hustle to get $50, it's going to my dope game. It ain't going down to tattoos. And this gives you $50 that you're putting it into yourself. I mean, this is a lifetime commitment. You'll have this forever. That bag of dope will last, what, an hour? This will last, you know, for the rest of my life. So, I mean, it's an awesome investment.
Right. Way cool. And I also, at first, when I posted the ribbon, I was like, I'm not copywriting this. I'm giving it to the world to do what you want with it. And that's still what I wanted, but that's not what ended up happening. You know, most of the people out there have been great, and they've been if they're making merchandise, I ask them to send me some of it. You know, just keep me stocked with something here at the shop. Go nuts, whatever, something like that. But I had to end up filing for a copyright on the ribbon. to protect the sanctity of it, because I was receiving messages like, hey, I'm going to copyright this. If you don't, I'm going to do this or that. I've had people making merchandise that have been just keeping money and not, sending in anything or proving that it's going to a charity or nothing like that. So, yeah, so I have copyrighted the ribbon, and it's to help safeguard the sanctity of that as well. I still want anybody to do whatever they want with the ribbon. There's been people taking the symbol out of it and putting in their sobriety dates. They've been putting in tribal designs. They've been, I've seen some rip skin renditions. I have a watercolor rendition. I mean, feel free to do absolutely anything you want with the ribbon to make it personal. I mean, anything you want. Put flowers behind it. Those girls are like, can you make it more girly? Put some color in it. Put some flowers behind it. Anything. Anything you want.
I love that idea too. And that really sucks that people gotta abuse something. I mean, you made this, you wanted to not have it copyrighted just for anybody, and the fact that people would message you and say, hey, if you don't copyright it, I'm going to, and they're not even the creator, and that would be completely legitimate. They could have, So I understand, you want to copyright it to protect the sanctity of it,
Right, and obviously these people messaging me about them copying it themselves would clearly be for selfish reasons.
Mm-hmm.
It is clearly for a monetary gain, which I've never been about. That's the reason that I extended this ribbon to everybody. I mean, I have tattoo artists messaging me from all over the world asking if they can tattoo this ribbon, instead of me being a stingy prick. They're like, no, hell no, I'll see you in court, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, take it and do what you want with it. Tattoo it on anybody, charge your own prices. I mean, I wish that shops would stick to my $50. I've heard of shops going $150 to $200 for the ribbon. I think that's unfortunate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, man, throw the guy a bone. But it's different per place. There's also places I've heard that will do it for free if you bring in a sobriety chip. It's place to place. It's $50 here. Go wherever you want. That's totally fine.
For sure. And this is a badass little shop to come to. And I love that you're building this from yourself. And like I was telling you before about, people from Wisconsin, if I see somebody from Wisconsin doing something good, I'm following them, man, for sure. And
Yeah.
I love this, that you're building this from the ground up, starting, that you found your passion and you're pursuing it. I have nothing but respect for this shop and everything you're doing here, man, for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, did we talk about how long you've been tattooing already?
No, but I've been tattooing for under 2 years. We touched on the professional
Were
setting
you an
and all
artist
that.
before you were a tattoo artist?
I grew up drawing. It was all very basic, like pen and notebook type stuff.
Okay.
And then once I started trying to get into tattooing, then I had to evolve, to bring a portfolio and stuff. They wanted to see mediums, colored pencil, markers, all the stuff. They want to see all that.
Yep.
Which is what I'm working with on my apprentice now, an apprentice here in Teagan. And she came in the same way, pen, little doodles and stuff. And she said she took her drawing to in a shop that was close by, and she said they literally told her to her face that her work is shit and to never come back.
Oh, wow.
That's what she said. So that's not what I see. You don't need to be a master artist before you tattoo. I think that shows growth. Come in with your doodles or whatever and give that person a chance to grow. It's determination and perseverance that matters. If this person is drawing at all, it shows that they're art inclined in some way, and then it's just all a matter again of willpower. Like, are you the type of person that's going to put in the time?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if you've been tattooing for 10 or 20 years. If you lose your drive, you might as well stop,
Mm-hmm. No, and I totally agree, and that's like me. I've only been speaking for just over a year, speaking publicly and stuff, and and I have people that will turn away from me because of that. I haven't been doing it long enough or whatever, but it's about the passion, it's about the drive, and the people that go for me are the people that see it. They see the passion, they see me push it. Doesn't matter how long I've been doing this, and I agree. That goes across the board to any passion, anything you're doing. What else can we talk about here? So this place, this is actually your shop.
Yes, I own Inked Horizons.
Awesome. And do you have any other employees other than your apprentice yet, or just yourself?
It's just the apprentice, which again was, going around trying to apprentice myself, run into a lot of dicks, man. Nobody wants to apprentice anybody. Everybody's like, you're not good enough. You get kicked down. And that's unfortunate, but some of it makes sense, because dealing what I've dealt with past apprentices and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
It definitely shows why somebody would stop wanting to give any attention to it at all, because it is hard. I mean, it's with an apprentice, you almost have to find somebody close to your same wavelength, because
Mm-hmm.
if not, you're gonna get mad and throw them out, or like I've had apprentices leave on a respectful note, like, hey, I don't think that this is working out. I think you better trying out somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that's fine. We left on a respectful note, and then all of a sudden, bitterness out of nowhere started slandering my name, things like that, like all over the place for no reason. And it's just like it's hard to trust anybody. And then to open up your shop and stuff to them too. So even though I don't think that their like level of dick is is agreeable. It's somewhat understandable, and I didn't even want another apprentice. I was recommended to her by a friend, and figured give it a shot. And so far, it's been good. So we'll see what happens. But if it doesn't work out, I'm like it's just me, man. I can't. It's hard.
It's hard. It's hard to find somebody else that you can trust that much to be in your business with you. I understand that totally.
Right.
So back on the ribbon a little bit. I just had a good question about it, and now I can't remember. With the copyright, is that already done, or is that something you're working on?
It is something that I filed on the 20th, and then I've been in touch with the Copyright Office, and what they told me is that there's going to be no denial of the copyright.
Okay.
There's not going to be any denial, and if anybody wants to contest anything, they do it in court.
Right on.
So that is something that I've looked into enough and whatever that I will, if somebody wants to be that way, that there's nothing like that symbol. If we got to do that, we got to do that. But I'm not going to let you mess up this symbol for everybody who's got it tattooed, everybody who's shared it, everybody who finds power in it. Like, I'm not going to let somebody ruin that,
Oh, I know, and they're going to try. The negativity will breed, that's for sure. You were already talking about the people that ha-ha the post and people that make negative comments. So what would be your advice to other people out there that are getting that negativity?
Well, it's weird now because it's like I'm on a different level than I was. The more you get in the spotlight, the more that things that never pertained to you before do. So being a small business or starting off locally or not being worldwide, a laughing face is a huge pain in the ass. It is the one thorn in your side that will stick with you. And I used to message people, be like, hey, did you send that on purpose? Sometimes most of the time they'd be like, no, it was an accident. But I'd be like, okay, can you remove that? But sometimes like, yeah, I put that shit there. And I'd be like, all right, block and remove, but that's something that you just are always going to have, like, no matter how good of thing. I mean, you could have a cure for cancer. You come up with a cure for cancer, and there's going to be that one guy that's like, dude, screw you, like, what's with the sanctity of cancer? Leave it alone. We need cancer. There's always going to be that hater no matter how good of a thing you do. So now, when I see a laughing face, I kind of enjoy it. I'm like, hey, this is proof that there's enough positivity on this to bring. I mean, the laughing faces never outweigh the likes.
No,
never on anything that I've really ever seen. So that's what you should take to heart. That's what you should remember. That the laughing faces ever outweigh the likes? No. So like the likes is like the majority of people, and that's great. Whether it's 10 likes, one laughing face, to the 20,000 shares and likes I got to the 15 laughing faces. I mean, the negativity is so just drawn out. You shouldn't even focus on it. You should be like, thank you for looking at my post, things like that. But yeah, it's something that really is bothersome at first when you only have a few likes or followers. You're like, are you serious? I'm trying really hard to make it, But then look at any giant company in the world, like I mentioned before, Red Bull. I love Red Bull, and I'm sure they got laughing faces on their posts. I'm sure, like, that's just people who prefer Monster. I mean, it's like whatever, dude. It's like that's just part of growth. I mean, Eminem, MGK, Eminem. There you go. And then Eminem had some lyrics in The Ringer that really pertain to local hatred that I'm getting right now by a few select places.
Yeah, that's something that starts right away. Talk about that with just being from a small town. I'm the same way. I have the haters in my hometown too that don't respect what I'm doing here and don't respect me. And a lot of times they're just viewing me as somebody that's dead. The old me is gone. So,
right. Yeah.
But about the local hate, what kind of backlash have you had?
It's just more. It's more word of mouth. It's the places that I left that haven't, been good to me in the past. And this is the truth with me, man. I've always been respectful. I've always been honest, and I've always given the shirt off my back for other people. Okay, and then you still always get those people that will not only take advantage of that, but then when you say, okay, I'm taking my shirt back now, ridicule you for that. You know what I mean? Like, how dare you? You know what I mean? Like, and all that. So it's just been, it hasn't been major. Like I said, the positivity totally has me in another place than the negativity, but just more like competitiveness of other local shops, one in particular, but it's whatever, man. They're just really, they can sit in their corner of negativity while all these people bring this symbol up. And that's another thing too, is that I tell people I just designed this symbol. I just made it. It is everyone out there. It is all of you that gave it meaning and put power into it. I mean, without everybody else, the symbol's nothing. It's just a piece of paper on the board. You know what I mean? But it's everybody that put all their power into it, and it is incredible. It's everybody who made it is what it is. You know, I only did a small part of it. So.
Yeah, well, thank you for doing it, man. I love the symbol. I love everything it stands for, and I love how you said, you know, that it's not only an awareness ribbon, it's a trophy. I mean, this is your triumph over addiction.
Exactly. Yeah, it showcases things. I've been asked if people can get it in support of other people. I think that's great. You know, parents and their kids struggling or things like that. You know.
My mom has already talked about getting this too, so maybe we'll be back.
Yeah, just definitely come back, hang out, man, all that stuff. But
for sure.
No, it's really cool that you took the time to come out here and, you know, meet me in this small area and see what I'm doing and stuff like that. So I think that's great, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for, you know, I mean, as soon as I seen you made it, you know, I mean, we've been friends on Facebook for a while, but I didn't really know nothing about you. But then once that popped up, it was like such synchronicity with, like, here I'm doing this in Wisconsin, you're doing this in Wisconsin. Great opportunity to collaborate and get together. And I'm super proud of the tattoo, super proud of you and everything you're doing here, man. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks,
So it was
man.
great meeting you, brother.
You too, man.
And I brought you a shirt. You know, check that
Oh,
out.
you did? I thought you said you forgot it.
I did, but my mom had a stockpile.
Oh, like, way to go, Mom.
Right on.
Point of change.
Heck yeah, man. Gotta have you on my team for sure.
Stay happy, stay healthy, stay clean. That's legit.
You heard it there. You heard it for sure. All right, brother. We're gonna let these people go. You got anything else you want to say to these guys?
Just keep sharing the ribbon and keep giving it the power it has. And the main thing is, do not let anybody's negativity bring you down. One guy posted, "Should I get this tattoo?" First of all, nobody's business, but he had a bunch of comments saying, "No, why would you do that?" And like, don't do that. Be yourself. Act yourself. If that ribbon means something to you, get it. Do not let anybody take that away from you. Do not let anybody say that it's stupid or dumb. Like, just walk away, because there's enough of us together now that hatred simply doesn't matter. Simply doesn't matter. So keep on keeping on.
Right on. That was beautifully said, brother. All right, man. We're gonna close this down. Thank you guys for tuning in. I suppose I should check if anybody had any good questions for you.
Yeah, right.
Let's see. Got a lot of thank yous and congratulations.
I've seen some brief things about shirts. Right now, if you go to Dave Wares, or check my link on Inked Horizons, Dave Wares is the one place I've partnered with to actually sell shirts legitly. So check out Dave Wares shirts.
There you go. Dave wears shirts. Let's see.
$100.
$100 in New Zealand for approximately a 6 centimeter. Glad I stayed awake for this. Been a great watch.
Hopefully I stay awake for the rest.
Yeah, thank you for being here, Raz. Yeah, she's all the way in New Zealand. She's been following me for a long time.
That's awesome. That's a good reach.
It's crazy when things blow up. I mean, you're seeing it right now with the ribbon, you know. I mean, when you're starting to push a good message, you know, people just love that, and that's a good thing. Richie Weber, there's a big guy for you. Your authenticity and genuine reason for creating it will be rewarded. Just watch. Right on, Richie.
Just by it being out there is reward enough. That's great.
For sure. Let's see, Monica's. I seen pens and flashlight keychains with it on it.
Yeah, those are in limited supply. They were never meant to really be sold that much. I have through PayPal. If you message me, I can get you some pens and keychains. They're $5 a piece or $10 for both.
Let's see. Katie Knowles, is this a friend of yours? She says, "You're famous now, bud, and for a super good reason. Look how you are bringing so many people together in recovery and bringing awareness to the battle drug addiction. It's
Great.
so awesome."
That is cool.
Let's see. Hey, my brother's watching. How you doing, brother? Let's see. Oh, they're thanking you for making it available for everyone. Great low price. Watching from Delaware.
Ooh, hello, Delaware.
Hello, Delaware. Bradley Bagwell, how are you, my dear? All right. If anybody had a question or anything you asked, I got about 1 million comments here. I could scroll through them all, but if you have anything to ask, go ahead and drop it in the comments right now, and I would find it. Devaney says, "I hit my 5 years of being sober this month. I think getting this by you would be a great gift for myself. I'll be calling."
All right, man. That sounds good.
I went to high school with Devaney. Zach says, tell him to stand up to see the shirt. Which shirt? The one he's wearing now, or the one I just gave him?
I'll show both shirts. You have the pointed chain shirt.
See, it's right here. Oh yeah.
And then this shirt was sent to me from Dave Wares, and then he's got the no needle on the back, which you can order it without that. And I got a bunch of cool shirts coming on the way with the watercolor rendition and all that stuff too, tank tops, things like that. So stay in touch with me and Dave Wares. Check that out. I'm sure he'll share it. I'll send him, some posts and all that stuff. So
for sure, yeah, you can drop links on this in the comments when we're done too, if you want. All right, guys, we're going to let you guys go. Thanks for joining us for this interview. Thank you guys for all the appreciation over the recovery ribbon. And thanks for tuning by to meet the man who created himself. You guys have a great day. Keep rocking through the weekend, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay clean.